All right, so here we go. All right. So this is what the third installment of the revolution orientation. Yep, that's what I'm calling it. Okay. This is what I want to do. So like me myself, right? Because I believe in all this stuff, whatever. Of course you go inward. Okay. How does this make me feel watching this happen? All right, and just to recap real quick, this is what in fact is happening. Okay, I don't care what anybody says. This is the truth. There are very, very, say, crafty, sophisticated people who know how to fuck with the masses. They've been doing it for a long time, and that's what's going on right now, obviously. And they do this through different ways. And, we all know and seem to accept that they like to divide and conquer. We all know, and a lot of us, shouldn't say all, but many of us understand that this Democrat versus Republican shit is a divide and conquer. All you see in media is Democrats against Republicans, Democrats, Republicans. Okay, so with that said, that is the psyop happening right in front of our eyes, and I can't believe I'm expected to support. I'm expected to act like that's not happening when I can see it in front of my eyes. I know what's going on. I know what the media is. I know how this works. So yeah, it's been very traumatic for me, honestly, and not just me, a whole lot of people. But I think it's important a lot of times when you're trying to deal with stuff, right? You just how you feel. I feel hurt. Okay, I feel very disappointed. I mean, the things that people have come at me for because they had a problem, that's very frustrating, and it's very hurtful that these people that come at you over nothing, they don't care. They just want to shit on you. It doesn't feel good to be treated that way. Feel me? Um, this is not a good situation. One of the things that is going on the, you could say, the left, liberal side, right, is the people who are running all this stuff, whatever, they understand full well how to use people's pride against them. Okay, this is how they do it. That's obviously the way the media changed and got really condescending was a big clue to that. Certain these people are extremely good. Okay, they are masters at manipulating our psychology to the point where we even know that they do it. Okay, we admit this divide and conquer, and we still just go along with it. Now, whose fault is that? hmm I think it's our fault. We have to accept some role, obviously, in our part in just going along to get along, right? Not everybody does, and of course, if you have, you know, they'll come at you really hard. They come at you so hard, you know, they really have turned everything against the conservatives. It would seem, right, that when everything goes against the conservatives, it would seem like that would be phony. I mean, why would corporations and the governments do that, right? So you figure, well, these people are smart. Let me just go along with it. I'm a liberal, so let's just gang up on all the conservatives. Fuck them. Yeah, that's our neighbors saying that, right? Plus, to me, I'm not even a conservative, right? But right now, I see what's going on, right? So it was very hurtful that these people went along with the capitalists that they say that they have a problem with. They claim to be so smart, but they don't look into stuff. They don't know what a color revolution is. They don't know what George Soros really does. It seems in a lot of people, we've seen it, right? It seems like a lot of the liberals seeming like don't know some extraordinarily important things. I mean, I can come up with some stuff. It's like when you talk to them, you got to be careful because first of all, you got to find out what they know. And that's hard because they get really defensive because it seems like they don't know a lot. And it's really frustrating. People aren't stupid. These people are not stupid. What has happened is an extremely sophisticated psychological operation has been, thrust upon us. That's what the situation is. And I'm really upset. I thought more people knew this. I thought it was obvious that that's what they do. They fuck with us. I mean, gosh, this isn't new news. All right, so whatever. A lot of people, you could say, look, right? You could say you choosing to be in the matrix or out of the matrix is definitely not Republican or conservative. But if you think, because you got to ask after a point, right? Who is it that's doing this in the media and why? Who's behind this? Who's behind it? You know, if I had some power, I could put together a team of people to go find out. I know exactly where to send them to. Of course, I mean this is a known thing. But where you'll end up is okay. What a previous president had talked about, JFK, who talks about what the dark side, the secrecy side. A couple of presidents have talked about this. Okay, again, warning. There's been so many warnings. Look, it's up to us to pay attention. The idea that you can vote some guy into an office and expect something different, again, this is on us. Okay? Nobody told us to play this game. We don't have to play this dumb ass game. Gosh, there's anything I want, like this Republican Democrat shit, y'all fucking deal with that. I'm not playing that. One thing I want y'all to do is to stop doing this shit, right? And go, oh, I get it now. We're supposed to work together, right? Because if you try to do it through the media and the government, that'll never happen. You guys have to get face to face in a room and talk. Now, I don't know what it's going to take to make that happen. I'd like to hear what you have to say. How can we start this revolution? Begin healing this divide? Because this is what, like in corporations, when you have a project plan, right? And that's how I look at this, a project plan. And there's certain things that have to happen to get to where you want to go. Like when the project is complete, you want to be able to say A, B, C, D. And for me, I'll tell you exactly where I want that to be. I want to say, like, I don't know, in 20 years, right? The history books will say, and the Americans decided to quit playing this stupid game and push back against the real enemy. Yeah, the Americans saved the planet. This is so I say save the planet because look, what's going on with the real powers that control this planet. Yep, that stuff's real. I know some people been programmed to think that that stuff's not real, but it's real, right? Let's stop playing. Let's stop pretending, because if you want something, you got to make a plan to get there, and part of that is data collection, right? You got to know what the fuck you're doing. You got to know what the fuck you're talking about. You got to know who your enemy is. You got to be able to characterize your actual enemy. Look at it this way, right? And now I'm not saying this is the way it is, but I'm saying it's the model that most makes sense. The model that most makes sense, I'm an electrical engineer, so I think systems wise. And if I look at this as a system, yeah, this is an energy sucking system. That's what its job is to do. Especially if you understand how powerful you are, but people don't. They do. They know how to get our emotions going, which generates energy. They use alchemy to transmute our energy into whatever it is that they want. And they are good at it. And I know a lot of people don't understand that, but this is the truth. I mean, it seems like it's not even rocket science. Like the whole secret society thing being the backbone of all of this. Yeah. And then the whole concept of like natural law. The, what do you want to call that? Oh yeah, that movie, The Matrix. It's just natural law concepts. That's what really controls everything. They don't teach people this. There's a lot of stuff in a lot of books, including the Bible, including everybody. It all goes back to natural law. And they don't teach us that. They just say, be in this religion, be in that religion. Then they give you the idea, okay, that these religions are fighting. Religions aren't fighting. That's just not even happening really much anywhere. I'm not saying it's not happening, but to the extent that the media makes it sound like it, well, what's going on in the Middle East? It ain't Jews against Muslims. That is not the issue. Not even close. Okay, so yeah, back to the point about if you want something, you gotta work for it. And we gotta fucking work for it. We Americans got fucking work to do to get the revolution moving. And that's gonna mean that the conservatives and the liberals are gonna have to step to each other face to face, tell them you love them, and hug it out. Then after you're finished getting over your bullshit, turn to the children and they got some shit to say and you need to sit fuck down and listen to what these kids got to say. So to me, these two things are critical path to the end goal. All right? Feel me? There's just no other way around it. This is natural law. There's unity. This is House America. We have to be united under our house. This is what they don't want. This is, you guys understand, this is the scariest thing to these people. It's just, and this is where my, you could say depression comes from, right? I can't believe we're letting this happen. Are you for real? What the, this is not, this can't be. This can't be. I thought we were a little smarter than that. But sure enough, you got this whole TDS thing. That's crazy. And that's real too. I hear there's some psychologists that are actually really writing about that. Now, whether or not they actually call it Trump derangement syndrome, the term seems to me to really pretty well reflect the issue. And I know a lot of people say on the right, whatever, or conservatives, or even just normal people like me who don't consider either, we look at that and think, wow, that seems kind of out there, right? It's like a mass psychosis. Actually, it probably is a mass psychosis. But that doesn't mean the people who were driven that way are bad people or stupid people even. Look, whenever something like this happens, whenever they do this shit, and they've done, this isn't the first time. Anyhow, when that happens, there's going to be a certain amount of people that do lose it, right? And it depends on who they're aiming the propaganda at. And in this case, they use the media to just constantly, over and over again, and with condescending tone, you know, put down, insult conservatives or anybody that didn't go along with the narrative. Because they did that to a lot of liberals or even middle of the road people like me. A lot of you out there. In fact, all right, I'm going to get to that. But the point is that, they came after us pretty hard. I personally, I personally am surprised at the level of coolness the conservatives have had throughout this. I mean, I don't know how you do it, right? I mean, just constantly being insulted day by day and have these people that, like on Saturday Night Live, that one skit with the, Make America Great, Tom Hanks character. Damn, like I say, I'm not even conservative. I'm just tired of seeing them do this. I don't like that. This is destabilizing in my family, okay? I love everybody. This is my big family, right? And I got these capitalist motherfuckers who know how to fuck with us doing this shit. And it's all intentional, obviously. I'm surprised that more people aren't. I'm surprised at this. And this kind of what does make us look stupid. We all see this. We all know this. And like, some of the media I watch, they go, they point it out because it's not good. It's seems like that's what they're trying to do. It's like, okay, so what do we do about it then? They don't go to the next step. I get really frustrated. It's like, yeah, I know, color revolution, divide and conquer, TDS, and then all this other shit on top of it. I mean, did you see CNN, the numbers report? Wow. It almost seems to me like, let me know what you think about this. Do you think there's Trump haters, let's just say that, right? Or conservative haters that are happy about the economic report? Or do they just hate so much that they can't even let that information into their mind? Or they're making excuses. Of course they exist. They just cannot accept it. And this is where, the psychology part of this whole TDS comes in. They ain't thinking right. It's about ego. It's about narcissism. Narcissism, you have a less ability to change your point of view about really anything, including yourself. And the idea that conservatives can be smarter than them is just not something a lot of people are willing to even go there, because in their minds for so long they think they are superior to everybody, that conservatives are obviously just dumb hicks in the country, fucking flyover country. I mean, the arrogance of these people, it's like, how do you not understand that, these are great salt of the earth people? There's fucking idiots everywhere. I live in Detroit, Michigan. There's fucking idiots everywhere of all colors. Okay? It ain't got nothing to do with race or who these people are you want to hate. Some good old country white folk, damn it. Yeah, ask my grandparents about good old country white folk. Ain't got a racist bone in their body. They make it sound like all white country people are horrible racist KKK members. So my point is, the media knows what they're doing. They're pushing this shit and it's getting inside their minds, bro. Look, the other thing that they do with media to get inside our minds to break us down is that fucking horrible fucking hip hop music, man. Oh my God. That's one of the things, about living in Detroit you gotta get used to. Well, I don't know any of these motherfucking songs, right? But all of this nigga, nigga, bitch, pussy, nigga, nigga, bitch, pussy. It's like, whoa, man. And like the worst music is a goddamn shame what these white boys have done to black music. That really upsets me. I started seeing this back in the 80s, man. Anyhow, that's another story. But so we all know this. What do? We got to start the love movement. This is the revolution. We got to deal with us because, lawsuits, whatever. Let's just heal this divide so we can get united. With unity, that's how we get power to get what we want. And the real enemy is not your neighbor. Republican, Democrat, none of that bullshit. If you still playing that game, you're kind of outdated. You need to upgrade yourself. You need to raise your game, okay? So we're going to get our game raised here. I'm going to, what am I going to do here? I'm going to say, hey, this is Miles out. I hope you guys can understand where I'm coming from, right? We're talking for real. Everybody's talking about this revolution. And maybe I'll put in here as an edit. It's a couple things I see about revolution on TikTok and something that this Asian guy had to say about revolution. Yeah, people are thinking about revolution. And what I'm doing is saying, okay, yes, let's do that. And here's the game plan for it. And as I said, unity is got to be job one of this, or else it just not going to happen. It has to be. You can't, and it should be, okay? This ego thing, right? Your identity thing. That's why it's evil what they push, because it's ego based. Anything that has to do with your identity and going, me, this is me because I'm at this is anti-unity. You understand how that works, right? Anything that's anti-unity is, you could say it's sinful or evil. It's low chakra, right? Okay. It's no good. So it's just an obvious, like, natural law thing where, well, it doesn't really tick the box, and I can thoroughly, you know, demonstrate that this, in other words, the ego, because we all, I think, agree. So, like, a lot of people, when they do certain drugs, right, they want to get closer to God, then they talk about ego death, right? Because that's exactly right. It ain't about you. But all this color revolution Marxist shit makes everybody think it is all about them. The othering of people, it's the direct opposite of unity, oneness, love, God, whatever you want to call it. So this is just natural law. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, it's almost like 1 + 1 = 2. Anyhow, because and why I say that is power, your own power, the light that shines is a function of love and unity and knowledge and understanding. And that's it, right? This power equation that I'm asserting is the basis of, it has to be the basis of the love movement, because, you know, it's not me. I know people say it's what you think, but look, you understand. No, this is it, right? Your own government knows this. I know they know this. Think about it, right? Our government, when they go in and take over some country, right? One of their mottos, one of the things they think of is winning hearts and minds. It's very important. They know this because this is true. Heart, right? That's what? Love. Minds. What's that, right? That's knowledge. They know this. This is not a secret. And I want to bring it to the fore because it's a really simple tool to help us get to where we're going. Does it increase my knowledge and understanding? Does it increase love and unity with my neighbor? If it doesn't, if it fails to meet one of these criteria, then I'm gonna have a problem with it. I'll be honest with you. So that's why I don't like people talking about other people, putting them down. Most times it's not even real. It's just the media perpetuating, division, and people decide to go along with it because it makes them feel better than other people. Everybody is really insecure, man. The tools that we don't have a lot of tools, right, to build ourselves. In fact, let me find a tool that did help me. I'm not even pushing this. I might do books and read from books. The Road Less Traveled, A New Psychology of Traditional Values and Spiritual Growth by M. Scott Peck. I'll put a link in the description, but this is a very important book. I was even impressed that it even existed as in such a obvious way. I was going through some times then, and this book came to me. And what it does, what I found, this is important, and I want to point this out, right? Check it out. So, of traditional values and spiritual growth. I didn't do this right. Okay. Spiritual growth. So this guy is a psychiatrist, but this spiritual growth part, the reason why that's important is because, like this, right? So we're all fucked up, right? That's just how it happens, right? Some more than others, whatever. It's not about judging. So that path is to better understand yourself so you can really accept yourself. A lot of us don't really like ourselves. And rather than walking a path of understanding, they prefer to make other people make them feel better, right? And the bad guys know full well how to manipulate this. I know how to manipulate. I've never done it, but boy, I'm learning a lot. I can see how they do. And when you look in history, you can see, yeah, People have been doing this for a long time. It is nothing new. So it is body seems to ignore all the obvious shit in our faces. And it kind of tells me, like, I don't know what to think. Because I am not the only person with this understanding. It just doesn't make me smart or anything. There's plenty of books out there written about it. You can look at something like the Tavistock Institute, right? But anyhow, I don't want to diverge too far. The point is it is real. They have their methods, right? You gotta know who the net enemy is, and the enemy is not your neighbor. I hope this makes sense. Pick up this book. I'll put a link in the description and read it. Or if you have read it, let me also know what you think about it. Okay? This is me. I'm out. In stream.